Have y'all seen this movie down y'all timeline? It's called Sound of Freedom and it's talking about human trafficking. Giving y'all a trigger warning right now. Had to put my scarf on for this topic of discussion because I'm an empath and I will feel the world's entire pain just by this topic. So this movie is out right now. People are saying that there has been issues with them trying to watch the movie. The screen's been going black, saying there's projectory issues. And the theaters are offering them, saying like, oh, we'll give you free tickets to another movie. People are saying that they tried to get the tickets, but it said it was sold out and they went into the theater and it was half empty. People are even saying when they tried to watch it, the movie theater had to be evacuated. They're saying that the movie is being sabotaged so people can't watch it. Watch this.
We pre-ordered our tickets, paid for them, they were claimed, got the link sent. This is an AMC theater in Pineville, North Carolina. At some point today, the tickets got refunded to my friend and we couldn't figure out why. So we come anyways to the theater after dinner and they're like, oh, well, we refunded all the tickets because there's no air conditioning in our theaters. Okay, whatever, we don't care. Are you still showing it? Yeah, you can still watch it. So we get to thinking, why did they not send out a notice in the email saying, hey, we refunded your tickets because there's no air conditioning?
An hour into the movie, we see this, what looks like smoke, and this horrible smell. It smelled almost like an electrical fire.
A whole lot of complications in the movie theaters of people trying to watch this movie. This movie was supposed to come out 3 years ago, but watch this.
Well, we finished it 3 years ago, and I thought, well, finally, 5 years of work. Now this movie is about to see the light. But you know, every studio passed. Netflix, Amazon, everyone said this is not for us.
They didn't want that on their platform at all. This movie has been blacked out from any coverage of the mainstream media, and no celebrities have been promoting it or saying anything about it. Now people across the country are saying there's complications in the movie theaters where they can't watch the movie. I'm a firm believer that Elon Musk is an alien, but he said that he's going to promote the Sound of Freedom movie on Twitter because it's not being promoted anywhere else. Me as an empath, and I know it's just acting and it's a movie, but it's based off of true events. So I don't know if my heart can take watching this movie, but it's important to bring awareness to these type of situations. So we need to go see this movie because they're obviously trying to hide it from us. In the next video, I'm finna go over these hotels and underground tunnels, so y'all stay dangerous.
Listen to Tom Holland explain why he doesn't like Hollywood and why it scares him.
Really am a massive fan of making movies, but I really do not like Hollywood. It is not for me. The business really scares me. I understand that I'm a part of that business and I enjoy my kind of interactions with it. But that said, I am always looking for ways to kind of remove myself from it, to kind of just live as normal a life as possible. Today, doing this is a very rare thing for me to do. Like, in London, to come in and speak to someone about my life is something I would not typically do, but because I'm a fan of yours and I was keen to kind of hear what you had to say and chat to you today, I felt like this would be a safe space for me to do that. But yeah, I definitely think it has been an ongoing thought, which is don't lose yourself. I've seen so many people come before me and lose themselves, and I've had friends that I've grown up with that aren't friends of mine anymore because they've lost themselves to this business. And I just am really, really keen to focus on what makes me happy, which is my family, it's my friends, it's my carpentry, my golf, the charity that my mum runs. Like, that is the stuff that makes me really happy, and that's the stuff that I should protect. So I do try to keep as removed from it as possible. Like, you'll never see me at an award show that I don't have to be at. I'm never going to a red carpet event that I'm not in the film of, you know. I don't want the attention when I don't need it.
I remember our ancestors used to use these campfires and they would tell the children about their soul, the spirit, the universe, what is creation, and why do we even exist? What happened to these stories? These stories that our ancestors would tell us around campfires that would activate our DNA don't exist no more because Hollywood came in and they took over our true essence. We create our reality through vision. If we can see it, then we can make it manifest. I had a big problem with Hollywood, these producers that always made black slavery movies. Every time Black History Month come around, we get another black slave movie. Oh yeah, more slave movies. And they also bring up movies from 50 or 60 years ago about slavery. We have no one telling stories to our star seeds about the universe. So Hollywood come in and give them Mickey Mouse, give them Disney World, give them all this fake illusions that have nothing to do with their soul growth or their spiritual journey. These campfire stories our elders told us, it means everything because it ignites the flame within us. I used to hate watching movies about slavery. I'm like, yo, we don't have no better future. But now I'm seeing so-called woke people. They're speaking about our ancestors went through this. Our ancestors went through this. Well, we are living a dream that our ancestors wanted. It is our time to now create a better reality. Start making more positive videos about our future. I understand how things work. Time is just illusions, but patterns and life is actually real. So if we keep living the same patterns, we're going to get the same reality. So if our ancestors went through the trauma, then we're supposed to be the ones that heal everything, right? So once we remember we are our ancestors and this childhood trauma that we are trying to heal is really past life after past life. We are healing reincarnations, not just childhood trauma. We are our ancestors. Different bodies, different names. And we're going to change this pattern. They are trying to rewind time and put us back in slavery. But our vibration don't work like that. And a lot of times, us woke people, we complain about the system. I just want to say, we can all come together, put money together, and get our own land and do something our ancestors had to dream of doing.
Alright, I just went even farther down the submarine rabbit hole, and you're going to want to hear this one. So we now know the submarine has magically been found just hours after they ran out of oxygen. Convenient. But let's dig deeper into these people. Shahzada Dawood sits on the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and is the advisor to King Charles Trust and Charity, and an absolute expert in corporate governance, and owns one of the largest fertilizer companies ever. Hamish Harding's wife is the great-great-granddaughter of a famous couple who died on the Titanic. Isidore Straus, who was the co-founder of Macy's and a U.S. representative. He also went to space on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin ship. But while the whole world has been focused on this story, there's been a lot more news that we missed. JP Morgan mistakenly deleted 47 million emails after being subpoenaed to court. Hunter Biden just took a plea deal. And Congress is battling the DOJ over abuse of power. Isn't it strange how apparently these people are geniuses and have a network of people to ensure they're safe, get on a sub that's controlled by a controller, and at the same time some of the biggest economic news is happening? It all sounds like the perfect story to me.
Rick and Andrew have together developed a technology for releasing DMT into human volunteers in a very slow drip that will keep them in the DMT state, if they wish, for hours on end. And the intention is to use this technology to explore and map the DMT realm.
When do I sign up?
As soon as possible.
Where do I go?
It's very close. Imperial College, it looks like Imperial College London is going to deploy this technology in further research into DMT.
This is part 2. Like I mentioned, we have all been programmed to believe that there is no land at the North Pole. But by the end of this video, you're going to realize not only is it home to the Mountain of God, it's also home to Paradise, the Garden of Eden, which includes a city full of angels that goes underground. So starting off, let me introduce you to Justin Trudeau. He is the Prime Minister of Canada, which in fact is very close to the North Pole. What I'm about to show you is an old clip of him in a room full of elites, talking about a trip that he took with his dad to the North Pole. Get ready.
Trip. I was going with my father and my grandpa Sinclair up to the North Pole. It's a very glamorous destination. I figured I was finally going to be let into the reason for the existence of this high security Arctic base. It was exactly right. We drove slowly through and past the buildings on a special top secret mission. And that's when I understood just how powerful and wonderful my father was.
Now, do you think a bunch of ice sheets made him have that reaction? No. It's because he witnessed everything that I'm about to reveal to you. This was a letter written to the Queen Elizabeth I. She was the Queen of England in the 1500s. Let's read what it says here. In the midst of the 4 countries is a whirlpool, into which they empty these 4 indrawing seas which divide the North Pole. And the water rushes round and descends into the earth, just as if one were pouring it through a filter funnel. Sounds just like the maps that these explorers made in the 1500s. In the midst of the 4 countries, a whirlpool, and then 4 rivers coming out of it. Just like it says in the Bible. A river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. Look, it says here, it passeth through the whole land of Ethiopia, which is Africa. So these rivers go around the whole world. Our oceans are giant rivers. The North Pole controls our tides, not the moon. And it's funny how after the 1500s, all the maps started looking like this. Unknown region. Even NASA satellites, look at those big black holes in the middle. Now, the big mountain in the middle, it is called the Rupus Nigra. Look here. This is straight off Wikipedia. Look what it says here. Rupus Nigra, it means black rock. It is a magnetic black rock mountain located at the North Pole. Except there, under the bright pole, there lies a bare rock in the midst of the sea. Its circumference is almost 33 French miles, and it is all of magnetic stone. Why do you think all the compasses point north? Because there's a giant magnet in the middle of our Earth, which is BlackRock. What's the largest investment company in the world? BlackRock. Now I'm about to prove all of this to be true. This right here is Richard E. Byrd. He was a naval officer who received the second highest honor of valor given by the United States. So this guy is legit. And look what it says here. He was a polar explorer. And in his diary, To the Pole, he goes into complete detail about how he was let into this place by the angels who live there, taken underground, and given a message that he was supposed to deliver to the president, which he did. I'm going to be releasing part 3 into my Discord in our North Pole chat. I go in depth about this story, where we're also going to have weekly teachings about this stuff in my Discord. So go hit the link in my bio right now and join. Don't forget to like, comment, and follow. I'll see you all in the next one.
Montauk Project is what the Stranger Things is based off of, but you can't really talk about Montauk Project until you talk about the Philadelphia experiment. That and the Manhattan Project and a few other things were all going on at the same time, and the Philadelphia experiment was one of the weirdest projects from that period, where I believe they were trying to cloak an entire ship. They were trying to create technology that would cloak a ship where the enemy could not see the ship, and they were using electromagnetics to try to achieve this. The project was a disaster. It was successful, but a successful disaster. And what's meant by that is, according to the stories that you can find yourself out there, they were successfully able to cloak or make an entire ship disappear. But when the ship reappeared, the small crew that was on the ship were basically melded into the ship entirely. Like
the first person to ever venture far enough up to see what the Earth looked like was a guy named Auguste Piccard. Most of us have never heard of this person because when he made it to the stratosphere, he said he saw what appeared to be a flat disk with an upturned edge. Now, after Auguste Piccard ventured to the stratosphere, we have the U.S. Air Force showing us the stars from space for the very first time. And when you look at what they showed us, what they actually saw, you begin to understand why the moon landing never had stars in the background, why they're not showing us stars from space anymore, because it's very difficult to pull this off.
The sky is deep black.
You can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
And pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
The sky, of course, was black.
The heavens are 10 times as bright, stars 10 times as numerous.
And we could not see stars.
The thing about Carl Sagan, billions of billions of stars, there really are billions and billions of stars, and you can see them.
It's an unfathomable blackness, like texture you feel like you could stick your hand into.
And that's when things start to get weird, because people have gone back and looked at declassified documents that for some reason keep mentioning a flat, non-rotating Earth. Over and over again, it's in their flight plans, it's in all their working models. This flat, stationary Earth repetitively keeps showing up. If it doesn't exist, there'd be absolutely no reason to base all of your science on it. Something else shows up. In the 50s, in Russia, they had documents describing the firmament.